This is one of the worst officiated games
in the history of sport. They were saying, not even just basketball. They were saying history of sport.
Yeah, probably one of the worst American tragedies in history
for everybody.
Look, we could talk about what happened with Vlade. We can talk about Weber getting called on offensive fouls while Robert Ory's winning an Oscar and flopping. I mean, this is so awful. If you can go picture in picture on this, pull up the Scott Pollard pinky foul on Shaq. Shaq's going for a skyhook. Pollard, literally, his pinky is crazy, and they call the foul. So both Pollard and Vlade foul out of that game, and they got to go to Lawrence Funderburk.
Funderburk is definitely the name as your third string center.
I mean, yeah, it sounds...
Even you're like, Funderburk.
Games with names presented by WynnBET. Download WynnBET app and join the team today, guys and ladies. May 28th, 2002, Arco Arena, Sacramento, California.
11.4 seconds remain on the clock. The Sacramento Kings trail the Los Angeles Lakers by 1.
Mike Bibby inbounds from the baseline.
Chris Webber catches the inbounds pass, hands it back to a curling Bibby.
Bibby elevates.
This is Game 5 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals. Let's fucking go.
Hello.
Welcome to Games with Names. Sorry, go, Julian.
You go. You're
Games
excited.
with Names. I'm pumped. This is my basketball era.
This is ours.
This is presented by WynnBET. I'm Sam Morril.
I'm Julian Edelman.
We got Hasan Minhaj here, a good friend of mine. Got his new Netflix special, The King's Jester. Watch that right now. Watch his other special, Homecoming King. We're talking Game 5, Western Conference Finals, 2002, Lakers, Kings.
Rigged.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Game 5 was good. Game 6, which we'll get into, fucking rigged.
Yeah.
Rigged.
No argument from me. I heard the whole podcast, the one that Imperioli narrated.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's going to be, I can't wait to get Mike Bibby on this bad boy and ask him to think he thinks it's rigged.
Yo, the depths of how depraved these people were. It goes deep, bro. It goes deep.
Well, it goes like,
it's crazy. It's the FBI, the mob, like the whole thing.
Well, because
it's wild.
And the league.
And the league.
Silver, right? It was Silver.
No, this was Stern.
This is Stern, yeah.
Stern, I mean, Stern, I guess the ratings dipped 23% from 98 till this point because they had a huge new negotiation going for TV contracts. Right. The Lakers were sexy. No one wanted to see the, like, what was it, the Nets?
Yeah.
Versus
non-major market teams.
Non-major market teams. Is that an acronym?
No, it was just, I mean, I would read so many.
Non-major market.
Yeah.
And
Sacramento's a non-major market. A non-major market.
I know, it's sad.
But that's your only team.
That's our only team. And we almost lost them. So
they were close. They were new too.
They were new.
Like Vegas?
Was well, they were going to be sold potentially, and they were going to go to Seattle. That was one of the places, or Vegas. Ballmer lost the bid. Steve Ballmer, you know, the crazy, woo, that guy, Ballmer ends up getting the Clippers. That bid doesn't work out. And Mayor Kevin Johnson, who got into some other shit, but he did save the team. Yeah. He did save the team. So look, I got to give a little background why the Kings mean a lot to me. You know this.
This is how we became friends.
Yeah. So he could see, you know, comics. There's always a source of pain. To like get in basements and tell jokes. Yeah. And so we have an affinity with one another, and it's always you got to figure out what's your source of pain. And we started talking basketball because he had a Knicks shirt on, and I go, oh, I know your pain. And he goes, oh, really? You a Laker fan? You like a Warriors fan? I go, nah, Kings. And he goes, oh, respect.
Kings might be the only team who have it worse than, like, I feel like the Gimp in Pulp Fiction had a better life than the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
That's a tough existence.
It's a rough existence. And what's crazy is we're the team that never could, because when I do say the Kings, people were like, oh yeah, you had that one run. We're like that dude that peaked in high school. We're like I remember summer '98. Like and
you only kind of peaked.
Yeah, and we
5'7", like 12. Maybe had a mustache.
Yeah.
Then when this team was finesse. This team was I was rooting for the Kings. Yeah. I mean, I thought they were like a cool team. Weber was smooth. Bibby is almost like mid-range with a three, but like it's similar to Dame, that smooth little J.
Yeah.
Lottie. Yeah. I love Lottie. Stojakovic, Christie would come out there. I mean, let me give my background.
Yeah.
I was a Warriors fan, but this is when the Warriors were kind of dog shit, actually very big dog shit.
Yeah.
And then the sexy team comes into Sacramento. It was an expansion team.
Yeah.
Like around like what 90, what was it?
It came at 85. Came at 85.
But then they got like hot.
Yeah.
And then
so 98 to 02, we were hot.
Hot.
So it starts with white chocolate.
White chocolate.
White chocolate. And, Weber comes from the Bullets at the time, the Washington Bullets, which became the Wizards. So people don't know this. C-Webb, there was kind of this like reputation about him around the league. He's a knucklehead.
Problem.
Yeah, he's a problem. Yeah. Remember? And you know this being a Warriors fan. He was drafted by that 93, like that squad, right? So he comes in the penny trade, draft. Yeah. They swap. They get Weber. And famously, anyone who knows that famous Weber era, he's the one who went around the back and then just yacked it on Barkley during the fast break. Goes to the Bullets. They had a nice little squad with Juwan Howard. Remember, they go far against the Bulls in the 98 series. He then gets traded to us. And he famously goes, man, when I find out I was going to the Kings, I started crying. I go, this team plays in a barn.
Literally.
Which was Arco Arena. Yeah. They play in a fucking barn. And by the way, that barn has an In-N-Out burger down the street. So how dare you disrespect that barn? But C-Webb comes over. And something people don't know about Kings fans, we are loyal. Yeah, so like, if you come, you're one of our own. Like it's a family situation. So he comes, we start getting hot, and we got the J Will, and this is before Steph starts jacking from 4 feet beyond the line.
Yeah. J Will was the guy. White chocolate,
the famous behind the back elbows. He was box office.
My dad used to read books about him and make me dribble down the street with my left hand tied to my right hand tied back, because that's what J Will's dad used to do and shit like that. Like,
so did you hoop?
I mean, I tried to hoop. I played AAU and stuff, but I wasn't a hooper. I was a football player trying to play hoop.
Got it. I remember when football players would play basketball. Y'all fucked us up. Because football season was before basketball season, and they just be like, all right, loose ball drill. They roll the ball out. I'm like, I'm not even going to try.
Loose ball drill.
These football players are going to fuck me up. I'm 150 pounds wet still. Like, I'm not. This dude's going to get it. But yeah, man, that little era. And then I remember, and I got to tell Bibby this when he comes on. I got to tell Mike this. When White Chocolate got traded and we got
sad.
Bibby.
I was a little sad.
Yeah, man.
We were all sad.
Real talk. I got to own this. We were upset. We were like, why are you
55?
Why are you trading him away?
He was a fan favorite.
Yeah. Why are you trading him away? Rightfully so. We needed control. We needed like someone to control the offense, and we did need like real.
And the guy with a jump shot.
Yeah. And
Jason
once you saw Bibby play, we were like, all right, that's why they did it.
Jason Williams got a jump shot later in his career.
Yeah.
With the Heat, he could kind of hit that three, but at this point, he had no jumper.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, you know what it was? It was, and by the way, I love Jason. I've met Jason. So we met at the All-Star game. So shout out to J Will. But it was one of those things where we needed to hit big shots down the stretch. And funny enough, the person we have coming on the pod, holy shit, did that dude hit us some big shots for the Kings. Yeah, multiple.
He was better in the playoffs in the regular season.
Totally.
He was one of those dudes.
Totally.
That mid-range jumper he had off screens or when he just pull up was so sexy. And he was just he could control the court.
What bugs me too, let me just say this, I'm going to vent a little bit. What bothers me, Jules, is the Bay Area, y'all shit on Zach. So for a lot of people, California stops at the Bay. Anything north of the 5,
anyone that says they're from the Bay, that's from Sac, we're like, nah, you're from Sac.
They go, you're from Sac, bro. Yeah.
They're like the Staten Island of California.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. If there was a civil war, they'd be like, y'all are the north. It's like us, all the meth cities. So like Stockton, Lodi, Modesto, Redding, Sacramento, like rise up. It's us, right? Yeah. And then it's like the Bay with all the tech money, and then LA, and then San Diego's is kind of forgotten. But San Diego's cool though.
Great.
Anyways, the Bay Up would always kind of shit on us, but I gotta say this right now. The Kings were actually the first Warriors. We actually were the Warriors 1.0. We had a A squad and a B squad. We could shoot. We had a fast-paced, fast-tempo offense. Remember, this is kind of during that Spurs, Detroit Pistons era.
Yeah.
Everybody's slowing the ball down, banging down low. We were run and gun.
Run and gun was C-Webb.
Yeah.
And Divoc's the fact that he could shoot the ball and pass.
Unreal.
Same with Weber. Both your bigs could shoot and pass.
So that started being popular like 10 years later, 15 years later. But I feel like we were one of the first squads to kind of do that. And
like Jokic owes a little to C-Webb.
A little bit.
For sure.
And can't lie, as a Bay person, like a lot of Bay people jumped on the Sac.
Hard.
A lot of us.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you for saying this, bro.
Kind of shitty, dude. Oh,
Thank
this
you.
sexy team right now. They're kind of flashy, fun. They're fast. They're winning games. Fuck the Lakers, because we all hate the Lakers.
I roast.
You know, we all hate the Lakers.
I know. That's unanimous. That's what unites both of us.
That's the uniter.
Hate respect, because the Lakers are important.
Yeah, you love the Lakers, but you love the history and everything. But like, no,
this was a hateable Laker team.
NorCal SoCal thing is like real, bro. It's like it's
a real thing. Yeah.
When it comes to like the war. We welcome in all like the meth cities. Like, yo, you guys are kind of with us. You know what I mean? Yeah. You guys roll with us.
And the sad part is here's how I know LA kind of won. It's not two-sided. Like they're not even thinking about us.
No, they're like, fuck these guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They've won too much.
This was it's tough for finesse teams to win in the playoffs. The Lakers, they would bruise you because they had Shaq. And Rick Fox and all these guys played such fierce defense. And then you had Peja, who was, I guess, hurt, but man, Fox did a good job at him in this series. And he had Doug Christie, he was a great two-way player.
Great defender. You need like a stopper kind of. So he was just a great. And then again, we had depth. We had Bobby Jackson. He was great. You know, Pollard coming off the bench, Lawrence Funder. But we had all these guys.
Was he the Jet?
Coming off?
No, it's Kenny the Jet.
No, it wasn't
Jason Terry.
Jason
Terry was the Jet.
Yeah. Was they kind of played similarly a little bit.
Yeah. And again, and so if anyone, did you ever get a chance to go to one of those games?
I never got to go.
Dude, it was rowdy.
Yeah, that was the thing. Everyone had the cowbells. And it was like you had real home field or your real home court advantage there.
It was loud as fuck. So if you remember watching those games, especially those Lakers-Kings playoff series, you see Phil Jackson on the sidelines doing this.
Yeah.
Because he literally could not. I mean, the cowbells were so loud. And it's a bad arena. Arco Arena is kind of a shitty arena. Yeah, but it was shaking. It was crazy.
Was Sacramento's like team.
Yeah, that was their call to the cowbell.
Yeah.
And it was such opposite teams. Like you have Doug Christie, who you're like, this dude is the only dude in the NBA who doesn't cheat on his wife. And then you've got Rick Fox guarding on the other end. You're like, this dude's
definitely gonna sleep with your wife. Yeah. Rick Fox has that energy, bro. Yeah.
He has I will fuck energy at all times.
Yeah. He's good looking.
He's a dude, and he got game where he's like, I'm the guy who fucks.
Yeah. I'll show you the assistant coaches. I remember that scene. Yeah. He's in Hallmark movies right now, just straight up. He's the romantic lead in Hallmark movies. Yeah, bro.
He's handsome.
And he's a good actor. He's pretty good.
Yeah. I can't agree with that, but
but I mean, I like this team.
Well, what was your perception, man? So you're in New York, right? We're the same age, and you're watching us, and we're finally like, we're on NBC. Like they're giving us national coverage. You're probably a sophomore, junior in high school like me. Are you like, yo, this team's kind of cool?
Yeah. I mean, I was a 90s Knicks fan, and that's a team who like had all the pieces but couldn't get over the hump. And I looked at this team. The Knicks were more of a physical team. This is a finesse team. You want to see the finesse teams win. You want to see the 7 seconds or less Suns win. You want to see Dallas win.
Yeah.
You want to see a team with shooting win. And it really wasn't until the Warriors till we really saw that. So I was all kids want to see shooters win. Yeah. And the Lakers were the favorites. So you're rooting for the underdog. And Shaq, I love him, but I couldn't root for them to win. This was their third straight, right?
Going 3 straight.
This was the third, yeah.
I couldn't root for a team to three-peat. You root against greatness also when you want the underdog.
Also, I'm just going to, be real here. 2002 Shaq, that 2000 to 2002 Shaq, he was like a monster in Space Jam.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
he was unstoppable.
Yeah, everybody was kind of like, all right, we get it, bro. You're just like this huge fucking unstoppable.
Because he gained a little extra weight, but he could still move the weight.
Yeah.
And especially that year, there was like takes that he was out of shape. That's when the Kobe beef
started.
But this period, I think
sheer domination.
I think he's the most dominant player in our lifetime. During these 3 years.
For sure.
I don't think LeBron or Kobe or anyone else reached those heights.
It looked like a high school kid playing against third graders. Like literally, like just 3 dudes on him and he's tagging them.
Hanging off of him.
Those guys had longevity over him.
Did you ever play football? Who's the football equivalent of Shaq? Where you're like just
Gronk.
Wow.
Like Gronk. Like when you would run by Gronk, it sounds like a fucking Clydesdale. You'd hear like,
fuck, man.
And like he would be giggling, laughing. Guys would be bouncing off him.
Who on defense? Ray Lewis?
Ray. But Shaq. Ray knocked me out a few times. He was pretty insane on defense, but he was it's different player, because Shaq was more
Dude, there's just bodies.
Yeah.
There's so many photos between that era, the first 3 championships. It's him in the lane dunking, and then there's 4 bodies around him.
The classic one in the nets where he's on like 4 dudes.
Yeah, just dudes are hanging off of him.
And poor Lottie.
Yeah, I love Lottie D-Box, man.
They tried to help him and stuff, but there was like times where like he would get dunked on, and it was just like, all right.
They gave up a lot. Like once he had it, they're like, just fucking. Yeah, it's not worth breaking your hand trying to block that.
Well, the problem is also you needed 2 centers to guard him because you're going to take the full 6 for your main guy, and you need a backup center to take another 6.
Yep.
That was the hack-a-shack thing. That's why he was so dominant. He did.
But he shot like 72% in this game too. So
that's crazy.
The
game
series.
6. Yeah, the game 6, he shoots crazy from the line. It's nuts.
I make him when it counts. That's what he says, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if is actually true, but it sounds good.
Now my theory is, Laker fans, go back and watch the tape. The reason why he hit it from a high percentage was he crosses the fucking line every time he shoots the free throw. It's a lane violation.
Wow.
Every time.
Right foot in.
This is riddled with conspiracy theories.
Right foot in.
Yeah.
And then
who's reffing?
Donaghy.
Oh, it's our boy, Donaghy. You know the dude. Mouth kissing Barkley, hugging Reggie Miller. Oh, you think it's just a coincidence?
Wow.
Okay.
How many?
This is like if QAnon was right.
Yeah,
that's what this is. This is like it goes that deep.
It goes that deep.
This is basketball.
How many more free
Pizzagate.
throws? The free throw like stat was insane too. I think it was like
27 to 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
In the fourth, 27 free throws in the fourth quarter
to the 9.
What do you say to then the Laker fans in this game? Bibby hits the game winner. What do you say to these fans who say that it was clearly a moving screen on Weber, who knocks Derek Fisher, a great defender, on his ass for Bibby to hit that shot?
We can watch it 3 different angles. We can cue it up. We got a MacBook right here. We can cue it up.
Let's do this like the JFK tape.
We can do it. Which angle do you want it from? He plants. I mean, Bibby was. C-Web was fucking jacked then. This is peak C-Web. This is when he was dating Tyra Banks. Fucking
Tyra forgot about that.
In his, remember the Dada commercials? I mean, this is peak C-Web. C-Web was like...
He's a handsome guy.
Handsome dude. He still looks great. By the way, shout out to C-Web.
He does. Aging like fine wine.
Like fine wine.
Black don't crack, baby.
Yeah, man. He looks fantastic. It's a clean screen. And then Bibby does what he does. He hits that amazing, probably 17 to 19 footer. Splash. That's how you know it's not luck.
Yeah.
He did it a few times in that game.
Totally.
I mean,
totally.
Did you hate this Lakers team with a passion?
With a passion. And by the way, people don't know this. It's going to sound blasphemous that I'm saying this now. Kobe wasn't even at his peak superpowers at this point.
No, I don't think that's controversial. I mean, he was clearly the second guy.
Yeah. He was
by
very
a lot.
good. But he wasn't the guy that, like, honestly, as a kid when I was watching, I wasn't like, he's going to be the nail in the coffin. We all knew Shaq was going to get your best players in foul trouble, and then you'd be rendered optionless.
Foul trouble.
And then, he would just kick. Yeah, I know.
Foul trouble.
Yeah.
Refs. Who was the ref?
Yeah, I think it's Donaghy.
Oh, I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
Who were the other guys in the NBA at this time that you were like, I got to watch? Because you were, I know you're.
Well, wait, sorry. It wasn't Donaghy in all of them.
No.
It was who Donaghy testified about, and it was Bavetta.
Yeah.
He was the mouth kiss on Barkley, I believe.
Bavetta was the mouth kiss on Barkley. I want to make it correct.
I knew Jack was saving that for later.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, Dick Bavetta, Bob Delaney was also particularly awful in this one.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Jack.
Correction. Thank you. Thank you for the fact check.
Who are your other guys in the league at this time? Because this is 2002, I believe.
Wait, I want to see what this list is.
Of the rest?
Pulled out a list.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what we have here.
I got some. What did he write? What's written down there?
So 2002, I didn't know this. Now I just remember this. The Kings had the best record in the West.
Wow.
So we actually weren't we were the team.
No, they had the 1 seed. They lost at home.
Yeah.
That game 7.
Yeah. All right. Bibby hits the game 5 winner at Arco. Game 6, the Kings are up 3-2. In the fourth quarter, the Lakers take 27 free throws. I mean, this is so awful. If you can go picture in picture on this, pull up the Scott Pollard pinky foul on Shaq. Shaq's going for a skyhook. Pollard literally his pinky hit.
And I think Lottie hit it first. I think it was almost tipped, wasn't it?
It's crazy. And they call the foul. So both Pollard and Vlade foul out of that game. And they got to go to Lawrence Funderburk
Damn.
And they still somehow stay in the game. It's a true fucking miracle.
Funderburk is definitely the name as your third string center.
I mean, yeah, it sounds...
Even you're like, fucking Funderburk. You're just annoyed.
Yeah, and at that point, you're just like, good job, Lawrence. You're doing your best. I'm going to ask Mike Bibby
God bless
about...
his heart.
I'm gonna ask Mike about this when Mike gets on. There's this very famous inbound where Mike is checking Kobe. Kobe does the jab and goes around and then does the elbow.
Elbows him in the head.
To Bibby's head.
In front of the ref looking.
In front of the ref.
I remember that.
And they call the foul on Bibby.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the point. I wasn't even... I could kind of believe the foul trouble, even though it was all bullshit. It was that moment where I was like, oh, okay. Because every angle was like, oh, he hit him.
Sports media world.
Oh, they bashed it. Yeah. So Simmons, when he was writing for ESPN at the time,
yeah.
Everybody was like, this
Wilbon.
This was one of the worst officiated games
in the history of sport.
Yeah,
they were saying, not even just basketball.
Yeah.
They were saying history of sport.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of sports, you understand how much needs to align to even get to this place.
Perfectly.
Like the luck, because you have the talent, but you need luck too. There's teams like the Houston Rockets with with Yao and T-Mac.
Yeah.
The stars never aligned for them. They had the talent.
Yeah.
Battier, Alston, that was a good team.
Totally.
But it didn't work out. This team, it worked out for them. They're the 1 seed. They're there. This is a loaded West. The Spurs had MVP Duncan this year, who the fucking Lakers, I believe.
Yeah, so you get 5. Yeah, and if you get
and they're taking the Lakers.
Sweep.
Yeah, and if you take the Lakers, you get to the Nets. That's a ring. So the reason why I'm harping on 2002
that was the championship.
Yeah, it's basically whoever's in the West versus nobody. No disrespect to the Nets, but they
didn't have the fire. They had an incredible Jason Kidd, a beast in Kmart.
Sacramento would have been a better matchup for them, though.
Yeah.
It's Shaq.
They wouldn't have gotten swept.
Yeah,
but I bet it would have been a 5-game series, 6 tops, because Sac legitimately had like an 8-man squad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It hurts, dude. I think of the Knicks in 93, 94. That was my intro to basketball disappointment, but we didn't lose because of the refs. We lost because John Starks, my favorite player, shot 2 for 18.
Yeah.
Riley, that was his guy. He goes, I'm sticking with the guy who brought us here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take him out. He related a lot to Starks. Starks kind of shot us out of the game. Starks also missed. He got blocked by Olajuwon in game 6.
Yep.
From 3. I mean, so... We lost. We got outplayed. Olajuwon was phenomenal. The Rockets were a great team.
You're a pro, man. So we're fans, right?
Yeah.
To what extent do refs play a role in momentum in the fourth quarter? It's huge, right?
I've
seen Super Bowls go the other way because of shit like that.
Well, the pass interference kind of penalties where you can get 65, 70 yards on a fucking 1 penalty. A lot of the times, I mean, that's a momentum killer and a momentum gainer for the other team. But in football, it's different because there's like multiple situations. The game really never comes down to just one play. Really, it doesn't. And I don't know if that's because that's how I've been trained by Bill Belichick. Like, look, we didn't lose it on this one. We fucking couldn't do good on 3rd down. We did, we'd hear that shit.
Yeah.
So that adds up. But I mean, those kill momentum, I would say, not necessarily outcomes of games.
Okay.
Because the momentum can get flipped any second.
Yeah, I just feel like for me watching it, the way
different in basketball though.
Yeah,
I'm not a basketball guy. I'm not a pro guy in basketball. It's completely different. That's like a wave because they're moving the whole time.
Well, the playoffs in basketball,
you know what I mean? That's wave.
I mean, because fouls are just kind of not called the same way in the playoffs,
just
except for this.
Yeah.
Usually basketball in the playoffs, the expression is let them play.
Yeah. So there was some. There were even the feeling that we had was when they started to call even offensive fouls. So there's another play in game 6 where Weber's doing that thing where he just always squares up. Like, remember, he'd like bring the ball low like this, and then he'd do this, and he puts it on the ground for 1, and then pulls up for a jumper. Robert Horry flops,
full flop,
just full flop,
yeah,
like full Oscar performance,
left elbow,
and they call an offensive foul.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, they don't call that in the NBA playoffs in the 3rd and 4th quarter. It's just kind of the egregious, like ticky-tack.
Like Jordan.
Yeah. So,
and I'm not putting them in the same category as far as like who gets the call and doesn't, but like this is the playoff. You got to let the boys play.
So if anybody wants to get into it and is like, what are they talking about? There's a Netflix documentary series where Donaghy's in it. And he basically talks about during that era in the NBA, there were certain teams and there were certain refs that were company men. and they wanted certain players and certain teams to do well.
Yeah, I believe it was like Team 5, Team 6 thing. That doc. I watched that doc.
Yeah, and there's a podcast called Whistleblower that's the same stuff. A lot of guys are like, yeah, we got Donahue.
It's a momentum thing. So anyways, what they could do is they could throttle the game. Meaning, one of the things Donaghy talks about in the doc is like, he's like, hey, listen, I can call Iverson for carrying 3 or 4 possessions in a row. I can take him out of the game. So what you can do is you can create a 6 to 10 point differential. If you're a competitive team, that's everything you needed. So for the Kings, you call a couple of offensive fouls on Weber, you put him in foul trouble. You put him in that 4 or 5 foul range. You get Vlade out of the game. You have Scott Pollard on Shaq. So you can throttle the game in such a way that those points that we would have had between the two of them, now we're down 10. Now we're down 14. So the fact that we, even though it was cooked, we still got that far. That's the part where I'm like beyond livid.
It's brutal. I mean, because look, we know how rare this is, and Sack has been.
And you played on a winning team, so you don't know how rare it is to have your moment. It's such a small moment. The Knicks had this
as a fan. Yeah. I mean, the Knicks, I think right now are in a better place than the Kings. The Kings, I don't love. They just paid Fox so much money.
Small town team, or what is it called? Small market team. I mean, it's different. That's what they live and breathe over there. Yeah. It's almost like a college environment.
Yeah.
Let's go back to May 28th, 2002, #1 movie, Star Wars 2: Attack of the Clones. I love that one. I thought the first 3, those 3 episodes were actually pretty good, even though the CGI sucked.
Okay.
And all that stuff, but like I loved them.
This was improved just because Jar Jar Binks was gone. I don't know if they focus tested that shit and they were like, this dude fucking sucks. That was like when you're around a dude who can't stop making
People were
jokes.
mad about the first one, right? Because of the little kid who was,
It sucked.
Yeah, okay, Anakin.
This one was all right.
Yeah, okay.
And then #1 song was Foolish by Ashanti. We've covered Foolish before. This was #1 for a while. This is a great song.
It is a great song.
Ashanti's
But it's the Biggie remix. That's why we were all like, oh, this is great.
Absolutely. Around this time, The Wire premieres on HBO.
We've already hit all these because we've been in 2002 already.
Oh, wow.
Have we? Yeah. Britney Spears and Justin breakup.
Or what a game.
What?
Yeah,
what game do we do?
Because I felt like we've hit all these.
Have we?
Yeah, we did Kenyon Martin.
That's right.
No, you guys interviewed Kenyon Martin?
Yeah.
We had Kenyon Martin.
Love that.
Yeah, he was cool. He hid in the vape pen during the interview.
OG.
Full OG.
Kenyon was 09. I'm tripping. Sorry.
Who was 02? We had an 02.
We did a Nuggets game with Kenyon.
Oh, that's great.
Because I just wanted an excuse to talk about that Nuggets. And that was a Nuggets win on the Lakers. Also, lost the series.
That's crazy.
But I just love that.
We've done 3 games. Winners against the Lakers because
That's amazing.
I mean, you got to tip your hat. They're the upper echelon.
And it's just an excuse to talk Kobe. And we love talking Kobe on here. We talked about this, but Duncan was the MVP of the league. The Spurs I think this was like a transitional period, though. They didn't have what we knew to be the great Tony Parker yet. He was a young guy. They had young Ginobili, I believe.
Yeah.
But this was in between their reign.
Leading scorer, Iverson. Bro, this was peak Iverson.
Peak. Everyone had the shoes.
I love Iverson. Yeah, man. Yeah. I had the questions and then I had the second one, the questions and then the answers. Those were great, bro.
And they were always affordable.
Yeah.
They're always like $40 less than a Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah. You still wanted J's, but Iverson, that was like peak Allen Iverson era.
He made Reebok cool.
He did.
And
the commercials were great. The ones with him and Jadakiss were amazing. This is by the way, this is when Jordan came back to play for the Wizards. That's wild.
That was
old
weird.
Jordan.
Yeah. Nobody talks about this though. The 2 seasons where he was like, I'll get us back to the playoffs. And he never could do it.
I know.
They just weren't a good team either. Yeah. And also he was still MJ, but
why don't they ever talk about in the legacy conversation? It always stops at 98.
Because that's where we want it to stop.
Yeah.
The way we want The Sopranos to stop at the show and not the Many Saints of Newark.
Yeah.
That's we keep it where we want it.
Yeah.
No, but MJ was, because that's the perfect ending.
That's his 14 years. Those seasons with the Bulls is basically the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones. We don't got to talk about the last season.
It really is.
It really is. It's just like perfect.
Wow. He went out on top and then he came back and it was cool to see him there. I mean, it was fun to have him that last All-Star game.
Yeah.
But
he still watched.
Yeah.
Everyone still watched. It was like that was like our guy.
For sure.
Loved him. He looked ugly. He was a little heavier. Didn't jump as much.
Oh, the Grizzlies moved from Vancouver to Memphis. That's crazy.
And you're rocking. And by the way, do they have Bears in Memphis? Do they have Grizzlies?
Did you have this for real, like just in the closet?
Yeah, dude. I'm a Bibby fan.
That's amazing, man. All right.
The colors are great.
No, it's pretty solid, man.
I think of Big Country Reeves when I see that.
I know.
I think of Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Yeah, they were great.
They whiffed on some high picks.
Yeah, the jerseys were great though.
Oh yeah,
the jerseys and the logo for these expansion teams during that era were.
The Raptors are.
Yeah, classics. The Raptors jerseys are great. Like they're awesome.
Remember they played at the Pyramid?
Yeah,
the Pyramid.
Oh, by the way, you guys probably didn't talk about this. I don't know if you loaded this up in the Google Doc that they're reading off of. But this is peak Vince Carter.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're doing all this from memory.
Top of our dome, dude.
I'm not even isolating you guys. I'm talking to them. But you should have put in right here. This is peak Vince Carter era.
All right, now the gaming corner presented by WynnBET. Prop bet. I think it's got to be about how yoked he got because he's huge now.
He's huge. He's Yoki McDokey out here.
My man's a bodybuilder, bro.
And
it's bodybuilding.com/Mike Bibby. Bro, this dude is jacked. IFBBAA, whatever. I mean, this dude is crazy.
I wonder, I'm going to ask him. I wonder if he could shoot still. I mean, because it's hard to shoot when you're yoked, but
Tell me about it, dude. That's my problem.
I know.
Jules, how much creatine is this dude taking? I remember creatine was the one. That was the one in high school. Jules, you know better than me, though. I'm just a medium.
Creatine keeps the water in the muscles, bro. All
right.
Keeps water in the muscles.
We sound so lame talking about being yoked.
It's so corny.
With our physique. We look like we're like Wes Anderson marionettes. We're like,
I think you guys look good. I think
we're two Pinocchios over here talking muscles.
What's the over-under going to be? How many do you think we can get?
4 or 5.
Want to lock it in? 4.5?
4.5. We'll lock it in.
Lock it in, Jack.
All right, we're going to take a quick break before we get to Bibby, and we'll see you then. Name a sport.
Basketball.
What? Now go bet on it with WynnBET.
Wow.
WynnBET is the latest, greatest app at the App Store. And if you join us today and use a promo code XGWN, when you bet $25, you're going to get $50. That's free money. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older to participate.
How you doing, man? Good to meet you, too.
This is my boy, Sam.
Hey, how are you, Mike?
Son.
What's going on, Sam?
What's up, Hasan? I'm the one that grew up in Sac. So I got to give you your flowers, bro. Thank you for giving us our dignity and pride.
Thank you.
And thank you for putting a Knicks jersey on your wall. That makes me happy as hell, by the way.
I have them all. Actually, I have all the ones I play with.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got Atlanta. He's got everybody. He's got everybody up there.
Those Grizzly colors are hot, though.
Yeah. The funny thing is, those are the ugliest colors when we were playing. We hated those uniforms.
But now it's cool.
I know. Everybody loves them now. I guess that's good. You see a lot of people wearing my stuff, so I see Jules got them on too, so that's good.
Heck yeah.
We got to give you your accolades. I mean, McDonald's All-American, Mr. Basketball USA. Your number 10 is retired at Arizona. Second overall pick in the 98 basketball draft. That was a loaded year, by the way. That was you, Vince, Pierce, Dirk, right?
Yeah.
Peja.
Jameson. James.
Yeah.
No, Peja was the year before. Jason Williams. Michael Dickerson. There's a lot of people.
That was
in
a stacked year. That was a stacked draft.
Stacked. All right. Kings legend.
16 amazing years in the NBA. Wait, first of all.
14.
It was 14.
Yeah, 14.
Man. Yo, listen, man.
If you want to count the New York year, yeah, it was 14.
We're counting it, dude.
We're counting it.
All right, good.
All right, Mike, look, man, I wrote down questions. Bro, I've been waiting almost 20 years to ask you these questions.
Good,
I'm not
ready.
even joking.
I'm ready.
All right, first things first, let's get into it right now. Mike Bibby doesn't get his flowers. Only a couple people have brought this up. Probably one of the greatest Jordan PE collections ever. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
I think so. I think, out of all of us, I think Ray Allen had the best PEs. I mean, he's won championships and he's on a few teams in Miami and Boston. So, but I think he has a lot of shoes.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, you got those. Damn, you got those. Ray. but everybody says that about me too. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Ray as the number one, PE getter in the Jordan Brand.
Man, you're just being too humble right now. Super humble. All right, how about this?
I told him too.
Mike, can I say this on your behalf? When you wore the blue foam posits when you were at Arizona in '97, that was a moment.
You know, that's what kind of kicked me off, you know, started everything for me. Being a shoe guru and all that stuff, you know, and now the story was because we, you know, back then everybody wore, it wasn't like today where, you know, you wear whatever color you want, no matter what the color uniform was. So
team issues.
Back then, so back then everything was, you know, if your uniform was red and white, you wore red and white shoes. That's how it was even in the NBA too. So the Nike guy came just right before the tournament started and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you guys all a pair of shoes. It's not your team colors. It won't be out for a while." But as soon as he said it won't be out for a while, I said, "I don't care what they are. I'm going to wear them. Nobody's seen them. I'm going to put them on my feet." And, you know, that's they gave a pair to every single player on the team. And you could have wore it if you wanted to wear it. If not, you just keep them. So, you know, a few guys wore them. You know, I think Jason Terry and myself were the only ones that really played a lot that wore them. But I couldn't even tell you how I could play. So I put them on like to this day, and I'm like, how did I play in these shoes?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think foams are great to play in.
No, they look
yeah. But they looked amazing. Yeah,
It looked good.
When people see you now, does it take them a second because of how jacked you are now? Or they look at you like, wait, I think I know you, but you look like in the first Captain America when he comes out of the machine shredded.
Some people, you know, I'm at the gym a lot, so a lot of people that see me at the gym don't. But, you know, outside the gym, I think they just hear stories, and that's kind of the first thing that they say. So, I mean, I don't think I'm much bigger than – I'm much bigger than when I played, but, you know, I've been this way for a while.
Can you still shoot with the muscle?
Yes, I can. That's not going anywhere.
Yo, Jules, you haven't seen the video of Mike? Mike can still yak, bro.
Are you still yakking?
Yo, he can dunk. Someone put up the video of you dunking, bro. It's crazy.
The last time I dunked was probably 3 years ago.
It's crazy. Yeah. Someone put up a video of Mike Bibby dunking. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. All right. So did they tell you the conceit of what we're talking about? Because we're talking about 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm ready.
We're breaking down games 5 and game 6. These two, they don't know. I had to give them. I had to lay out the table a little bit.
I kind of know.
He's from the Bay.
I'm from the Bay, and when you guys were hot, the Warriors were trash, and we all hated the Lakers. And so I was on it. So go ahead.
So I talk about the game 5 jumper. So first things first, I gotta be transparent. When you came in 01, I'm not gonna lie, the city was sad.
Everyone was a little sad. We all love Jay Will.
We love Jay Will.
White chocolate.
But what was said was, hey, we need a point guard that can control the offense, that can hit jumpers consistently and hit big shots. And that game 5 moment, I've seen it a million times. I got the Sacramento Bee, you on the front page up in my room still. But I want you to tell us what that moment was like, because C-Webb hits that pick, Fisher collapses, you step up, you hit it, and then you do this thing, and the arena erupts. But take us through it.
Let me say something first, because the first thing, you know, I didn't know how Sacramento fans or the team would take me coming in. Like you said, coming in for Jason Williams, a fan favorite, and, you know, a team favorite. And that's what made it so comfortable for me coming in, the fans and the team. You know, the team acted like I was there for, like, you know, my whole career. So that's what made it so easy for me to kind of make that jump from being on a team that, you know, really no one, you know, people were asking if I still played to, you know, I'm on the contender. So, I mean, that was the biggest thing for me. That's what made it so easy for me. But with go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we all saw why they traded him. Now we once you started playing, so you can keep going. But we understood why. So we're not saying
I can't get past the fact that the newspaper there was called the Sacramento Bee.
The whole Bee.
Yeah, is that whole city a high school? What the hell?
No, hey Sam, you got to take it easy with the disrespect right now. The Sac Bee is an amazing newspaper.
It's still there too.
It's still there, man.
There. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. But you know, the play was for Chris to make a play. Either he'll shoot it, fake handoff to me, or give me the ball. So, I told him, I said, if you don't shoot the ball, when we're walking out the huddle, I said, if you don't shoot it, I'll make the shot. And so he handed it off to me, and I shot that shot probably a million times in, practicing. So, every shot that I took, I expected to go in because I worked so hard on my shot. So when I shot it, it felt good, and it was just in rhythm. It was something that I did every day, and, I just expected it to go in. And when it went in, the fans went crazy.
It was crazy.
I look at videos and see it, but as I try to remember it, being in that spot, it's kind of hard to remember.
You were just in the zone. It was just like you were in flow.
It was amazing. It was amazing first year playing with them.
Did you think that year? So for me, it felt like between 98 and probably 02, 03, that was our window. That was like our window to really make a run for it. But that year specifically, I felt like
number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
Had we beaten the Lakers, it's game over. We're taking the Nets in 5 games probably. Did you feel like
we were the best team in the league that year? No, hands down. I think the Lakers knew it, the league knew it, and I think everybody in the world knew it. I mean, it was just that it shouldn't have went to Game 7. It's unfortunate we kind of shit the bed in Game 7, but it happens, and we thought we'd have another chance, coming in next year, but injuries kind of hit us, and it was kind of, like you said, our window was 1 or 2 years during that year.
So for me, Game 6 was probably one of the worst American tragedies in history. I'm not joking, bro.
For everybody.
For everybody. So as it's happening, there's look, we could talk about what happened with Vlade. We could talk about the pinky on Shaq's palm and that being a foul. We can talk about Webber getting called on offensive fouls while Robert Horry's winning an Oscar and flopping. But I want to talk about your moment with Kobe, with the elbow to you. The inbound pass is coming, and you get called for the foul.
No, actually, they called the foul on Doug after they threw the ball in.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
he did it kind of smooth as, I would say like a savvy veteran would do. Made it look like it wasn't on purpose. And you could see the ref looking dead at it right there. It was just, it's a different ball game. We get that call, and like I said, you can't look dread on the past or whatever, but we get that call. So our ball with about 10, 11, 12, 13 seconds left, down 1. So that's a different story. I love playing in LA, so it probably would have been bad for him.
Yeah, let's go.
Was that your favorite team to go against, like playing in LA versus the Lakers?
I love playing in LA because you could hear stuff because it's kind of quiet in there actually, and
it's great.
You can hear everything that somebody's saying to you. And
Mike, I couldn't agree more, bro. I've said this before, and LA fans get after me. Staples Center is great for recording a podcast. It's great for breaking up with a girlfriend. You want to call your grandmother overseas, go to Staples Center. Amazing reception, very quiet. You need to take a Zoom meeting, job interview, go to Staples Center during a Laker game.
It's quiet, but everybody goes to be seen there. So it's LA. That's what you do out there. So but you could hear everything. I think they brought the best out of me, and I just felt good when I went there because it's like me against everybody that's there, and that's how I felt.
During that era, be honest, we weren't that scared of Kobe, were we? Much respect to Kobe and the legacy, but 02 Kobe, we weren't pressed about Kobe. It was Shaq who were we pressed about.
There was no one to be scared of, really. But when we set up for our games, our thing. Doug did a pretty good job on Kobe. Doug's about 6'7", and he kind of held his own against Kobe. But Shaq was something different. I said Shaq was the most dominant player that I've seen, just in fact in basketball, just how strong he was, fast. And we just had to make sure he saw 3 people every time he got the ball. That was our game plan, make sure he saw 3 people. How
did you get in there and earn the team the respect of the team so quick? Just by how you worked, or were you a quiet leader, or were you vocal, or was it just through how your actions? Because I can already tell, I can answer the question probably through your actions. You look like a guy that works his ass off.
Yeah, I worked hard, and I was in the gym, it was right across from the arena. So there was plenty of times, plenty of games that after games I went in and shot, 300 makes and, 350 makes, 400 makes after a game. And I didn't come in like my agent. The first thing my agent told me, like, this team's established. You don't have to come in and woo anybody and do all that. Just, be a constant player, knock down shots and just play off of these guys and things will go for itself. That's how I played in the regular season. I averaged 13 points during the regular season. And it was just like, okay, now I see. Like the first practice, I remember passing the ball, cut through the lane, and I ducked, the ball almost hit me in the head. And, I remember Coach Carrillo, rest in peace, he was like, you better be ready, young fella. The balls are coming. So I wasn't used to, getting passes after I gave the ball up. So I had to adjust my whole game and do a whole different game plan from the way I played.
Well, you're used to a team that couldn't pass like that when you were in Memphis. I mean, Weber, Vlade, everyone could move the ball.
Everyone.
The best two big passes probably the game's ever seen. So, in Vancouver, our thing was kind of throwing in the post. Back then they played inside out. So you throw it in the post, you get a double team out, it's kicked out, now you play out that way. Now, start again playing different after that.
Do you feel like at the time during that era, at least when you played with the Kings, in my opinion, you were one of the best mid-range shooting guards in the league?
It's funny because our era was kind of the mid-range shooters. You had Raj
for sure.
Terrell Brandon, Sam Cassell. You go all the way down the line. Everybody shot mid-range. That was the thing to do, mid-range.
Who was your toughest cover? Because no disrespect, but it wasn't D-Fish. It wasn't D-Fish. It had to be Iverson, right? Yeah,
no,
let's go.
You understand. My defense, I wasn't really a great defensive player. I always tell everybody they paid me to put the ball in the basket. So I wasn't really, going and trying to work on defense. We had Doug Christie and Bobby Jackson for that. So my hardest cover was Stephon Marbury. And just the fact that, he was going to shoot 30 shots a game, so you're going to have to play deep. You're going to have to play true defense every possession. He was strong. He was quick. He was fast. He was athletic. He was a dog. Like, the biggest thing with him, he's from New York. He's a dog. And every guy he played against, he wanted to show, hey, I'm better than you. And going and playing like that, that's hard. You get a lot of guys that play in the NBA that, are capped at 5 shots a game. If you go into a game, you're guarding somebody that's shooting 5 shots. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have an easy night defensively. Him, he's getting at least 30. Right.
So I don't know if you saw the Donaghy documentary. Did you see it on Netflix?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch that. I can't even watch most of the games. I can't even watch Game 6 still. That fourth quarter, I still can't watch that.
Wow. It's probably the same way. I'm a New Yorker. I don't want to watch United 93. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that shit. It was a tragedy. Yeah. I get it. I mean, who do you blame more for the loss? Tim Donaghy and these corrupt refs, or the fact that Peja wasn't full strength?
You talking about game? What game?
Well, wasn't he coming off an ankle injury?
Bavetta was the ref on the games, right?
Yeah, Bavetta. I forget what the rest.
How were they with you? Did you get love from the refs or no? You didn't get the special treatment, did you, Mike?
For a couple of years, I did. It was like 2 or 3 years, and after that, once I started going to the basket, I wasn't getting those same calls. I was like, okay, I guess my time's up. Is up.
Wow. So it is real. It is real, right?
I mean, there's superstars. You got to take care of the superstars.
You want to see superstars?
Yo, Mike,
score?
I can't tell you how validated I feel. Because I would get into it with Laker fans and they're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The refs cooked the game. What are you talking about? And I was like, so when the documentary came out and Donaghy basically was like, look, there was a group of us that we were told as company men, hey, you got to take care of the guys that are leading the league and take care of them and you'll be taken care of. The fans want to see them play all 4 quarters.
That's in any league, though. That's in any league. I mean, whether it's hockey, football, baseball, they're going to, it's going to be taken care of.
Jules, you feel that way?
During the regular season, yes. During the postseason, I would say they let us play a bunch. Like you could always tell DBs could get away with a lot more when you were running routes in the playoffs. They say do business as business is being done, and guys, it gets a little more physical. That you can push off more and they can grab you more. It's just
see, but the benefit of the doubt is going to go to you guys in the Patriots, right?
No, that's what people think.
I mean,
we just had doubt. I mean, we if you look at all
obviously you guys are better.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that. A lot of the times it felt like they were against us. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like the league was pissed. The league didn't want they want parity. They didn't like having someone at the top. Like they suspended Brady for 4 games with no evidence. Like, are you kidding me? Like legit. Like if you read through that fucking report, nothing says nothing was done illegally or anything.
I feel like 4 games wasn't enough, Jules. That's the way I feel, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on top, bro, people will try to knock you down.
I'm one of them.
Tell me about it. People always go after my man Eli Manning. Shit's fucked up. Shit's fucked up.
But Jules, I'm a fan of you guys too. I used to watch you guys and just be in awe. You know, you weren't 6'7", 6'5" like all these other guys. You were a killer out there too. I love it.
No, man, you were a huge inspiration. Like I said, you were always a undersized guy. But you could always tell through your preparation. And I was a preparation guy. Like you said, after a game, go hit 300 shots. Like I was the type of guy that was always there at 6, catching balls. I had to get my eyes warmed. I had to get my body right for the day. Just like trying to win each and every single day. And, you're a huge.
It definitely showed.
I appreciate that, bro.
Well, we asked Hasan asked you about who you hated defending. Who are pests on defense? Was Fisher a pain in the ass?
No. They used to send guys that their main goal was just come in here and just try to irritate me, like Vucevic. I think I could probably say he's probably the biggest pest out there. He just come out there and hack me and just try to get away with stuff that he couldn't get away with. He couldn't keep up. I felt bad for him.
Wow.
Another former Nick. Shouts out to Sasha. Thank you for your service.
Hey, so what?
That's just they put him in to try to get on my nerves.
So Mike, let me ask you something real quick. What made you why the 300 made? Was that something you learned from your pops, or like what was why the 300?
Because it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I had practice the next day. So I had to be home. But, during the summer, I make probably 700 makes a day, 750 makes a day.
How many makes do you make your son go through when you were, because I read that you had been training him and coaching him since he was 9.
Yeah. So I just put him through a workout. The kids are different than how we were back then. So if you give them too much, they're going to start to complain. So, you got to give them and keep their mindset kind of focused. And once he's tired or his leg hurts, all right, give me 10 free throws and you're done. So
that sounds like my pops.
Are you still watching the game a lot, Mike? Are you still watching any of these younger guys right now in the NBA? And if so, who are people you like watching?
I watch all the time. I love the Suns. Suns got with Chris Paul. The addition of Chris Paul, I think, was a great addition. You got to watch Steph and the Warriors. And, Ja Morant, I think, is a monster. He's a monster. And, I like Jason Tatum. You go all the way down. There's a lot of young guys. Like I said, I think the NBA, the future's in good hands. But Ja Morant, he has that dog mentality. Like he's gonna make sure it happens, and that's the mentality you got to have playing against guys. In the NBA.
We were talking earlier that you guys were almost 10 years before. You guys are almost 10 years too early for what you guys were.
Bro, we were the Warriors before the Warriors. I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah. We run the same offense kind of. It's the Princeton offense. A lot of cuts, and what was tough. Other teams couldn't really. When you go through walkthrough and these are the plays they're going to run, and when they do this, they're doing this. You couldn't do that with us because you never knew. We didn't know what we were going to run until it happens. A lot of back cuts, splits, and Blotty and Webb put the ball right on the money. So it was hard. It was hard to prepare for us.
What was what was Rick? What were you guys talking about going into the series? Like, what's the strategy going to play the Lakers?
We got to make sure Shaq sees 3 people. We send in a lot of video of Shaq being in the paint for about 7, 8, 9 seconds. So, but I mean, he's gonna be he's hard to stop already. But when he's in the paint for that long, it's gonna be impossible. So we were trying to get any kind of plus we can out of it.
Did it help playing in Sacramento? Because no disrespect, I've played there, I've done gigs there and stuff. Not a ton of distraction in that city. Was that? I mean, look, there's a few good bars and stuff, but like, were you guys a very disciplined group?
Hey man, Cheesecake Factory's popping in in Don't you dare disrespect Cheesecake Factory. Don't you dare disrespect Art and Fair Mall. There's a lot happening there. There's a Foot Locker and a Chic and a Foot Action,
and they just got in and out.
There's a lot of distractions. There's distractions there. There's distractions you go anywhere really. You can find distractions anywhere, but I mean it's a small place. I mean everybody knows everybody, and the leagues. Everybody's the same league, so I still know a lot of people out there. Still have a lot of friends out there too. So I love playing Sacramento. That was kind of catapulted me in my career. Kind of jump starting my career again. I
mean they're rich. They probably took helicopters to the Bay.
I can't get no helicopter. No, thank you.
R.I.P.
No, they freak me out.
Mike, do you ever think that when you watch the league now, do you feel like it's in good hands? Do you ever feel like, oh, I could play in that league? Or do you feel like you were tailor-made to play in the era that you played in?
I think I could have played in that league. I mean, it's being a shooter, I think I could play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I would have shot more threes. Like the most threes I ever shot, like an average in a year was, I think, 6 a game. You got guys shooting 23s a game now. I mean, it's a different game now. But I think I could play in this era.
But 6 for that era is a high number.
Yeah, it is. I felt like I shot a lot of threes actually.
Yeah.
Everything was mid range back then.
Yo, so Mike, just real quick. I mean, you look great. A lot of players, man. A lot of heroes that I had growing up. I had their champion jerseys, and I see them now. Boys are looking rough. So when did you get into bodybuilding and you're like, yo, I'm gonna be Mr. Olympia out here?
You know what? I used to lift all the time. Whenever I come back from summer, they'd always tell me, like, the trainer would be like, Mike, you can't lift like that when you go home. Like they don't want you to lift. Like they used to frown upon lifting weights. Like there's been plenty of times
really?
Rick Edelman would come through the weight room and be mad we were lifting.
Why?
But what's the reason?
Just from being agile. They want you to be able to move. You got to be able to. They want you to be able to be agile. If you're all stocky and stuff, you won't be able to move.
But how about someone like Luka right now? He doesn't he looks like a bigger dude.
But he's not lifting weights.
Yeah, he's not lifting weights. That's just his size. But
that boy's thick, man. He's just thick though.
Tough.
When you put muscle on, you give your because football we have to put the muscle on to be able to endure hits. Like you when you pump yourself out and you look as jacked as Mike, you get vulnerable of pulling out your hamstrings or stuff like that. You can also get hurt in the fucking weight room. Like you leave yourself more vulnerable getting hurt. So that's why a lot of guys like with TB12 and the whole method of being long and pliable. It's so you can be rubber bandy and not get hurt.
Yeah.
I got to know from this era, because there were a lot of characters on this team. Any memories of, team bonding stuff or going out with these guys?
Everybody had their own stuff, but I think Vladi was probably the best team I had as far as just his attitude. Like, no matter if he had a good game, bad game, he was going to be the same person on the plane. I played with people that, didn't get their points or whatever, won't sit with at the card table that night. And I mean, just Vladi was ringleader of everything. And it didn't matter.
Vladi was amazing. For a 58-year-old, he had an amazing attitude.
I caught Vladi smoking one time and smoking a cigarette in the bathroom one time. I can't use the bathroom like right in the warm-up.
So he was a chain smoker, right? This was the word that he was a chain
smoker. But I'd seen him smoking a cigarette before the game, and I said, come on, Vladi, the game about to start in 5 minutes. And he was in there smoking a cigarette. I mean, I guess you got to do, what. So
how was it for him? He's seeing you doing deadlifts, and he's got the sausage arms, and he's chain smoking. These are two very different people. But you guys are everybody loved Vladi.
Yeah,
So how did you gel with that?
But his playing style lended it. I mean, you're Vladdy, you can smoke a cigarette. You're Vince Carter, you got to put down the Marlboro. You know what I mean? Like, Vladdy can smoke.
Yeah, but I mean, Vladdy wasn't moving too quick. He wasn't jumping too high. Vladdy would beat you with his IQ, his brain, and he knew that. So I mean, regardless of how he came in the night before or what he's doing before the game, he'll be all right.
What was C-Webb like?
Alpha dog. You know, what I mean, he was just a dog. You know, and he everybody on the team knew it. He was the captain, and you know, we knew every night that it wasn't going to be our night. But Webb, we knew it was going to be his night because that's what he is. He averages, 28 and 12. So everybody fell in the line after that, and everybody knew it. That's what made it so good. No one expected to have that night like Webb was having every night. We had so many guys that were good that it might be Hito's night tonight, Paige's night, Bobby's night, my night, and everybody was good with that.
Now, did anyone joke around about the the timeout with him, or was he like kind of sensitive about that?
No one, not when I was there. He was there for like 4 years before I got there. But, I mean, people make mistakes. And, I heard somebody call timeout on the thing. He was a kid at the time. He was probably 18 years old. But, I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? And that was the reason why they lost the game.
Yeah.
Yo, it's interesting. Every time I do any of these sports podcasts with former athletes, they always talk about having that dog in them. Jules, you were talking about it before Mike came on. Mike, you've been talking about it. When you talk about a guy that has that dog in them, what does that mean? They're going to fuck you up in practice? Like, or is it mental toughness? They're clutch? What is it?
I'll let Mike go, and then I'll give you my version.
Yeah. Name names, bro. Name names. The statute of limitations, bro. It's been 20 years.
Other dudes who are dogs. We want to know some.
Yeah.
What makes you a dog?
Kobe was a dog. They used to have a mentality of, fuck it. I'm going to go out here. This is what I'm going to do, like it or not. And I'm going to be physical with you. This is where I grew up. I'm hungry. It could mean a whole bunch of different things, but like, Kobe, Marbury, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, like, you just keep going on and on. Like, the guys that you're looking, like, nothing phases them. See, and they want to be in that situation. They want to be in the trenches of when it's rough. And I want the ball in my hands at the end of the game. I don't run from it. I want to do this. I mean, just little stuff like that. Did
you play that way? I feel like that era with the Kings, you played that way. Like, you seem 100%. Fearless. You seem fearless down the stretch. I fearless, yeah, but I mean, I've worked so hard on it that I didn't expect anything different. And like my mentality, I have a mentality of a dog. Yes, I feel I am, or I was one. I still am. I still go to the gym, still hold my own, still get physical, still get loud. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Yeah. A dog to me is, a dog is like a motherfucker that eats a steak with his hands and not a fork and knife. A guy that knows he's going to go across the middle and he knows he's going to get decapitated. But he's going to make the catch. He's going to get up talking shit. Like letting people know. That's how I tried to play the game. Someone that was not just competitive on the game, but that fucking was competitive in practice. We're in practice and walkthrough and you guys getting in fights because we're getting too physical or we're taking a guy to the ground. You're making a hard block. But like, if you're going to get mad at me, then fucking stop me. So you be a fucking dog. That's what a dog is. In our world. And hunger.
A good example of a dog, too, as a fan, as a spectator, Julian, Mike, you're both great players who got even better in the postseason. To me, that's a dog.
When the lights shine bright, you can't run. That's a dog.
Yeah, you got to want it. Can't be afraid to fail either.
No, that's like the ultimate thing. You're gonna fail. Sometimes you're gonna fail, but you're still gonna fucking go out there.
So Mike, I gotta ask you. So who's got those Jordan 17 all black lows that you hit the jumper in? Where are they at? And pull them out on Zoom. We need to see them.
I don't have those anymore. Those are long gone. That's over.
What Team Dime has them? Who has them? The squad. Who's got them? Wow.
They were probably still at the arena from.
They're in Arco.
Arco, yeah.
Under rubble.
It's probably now, unless somebody took it.
Do you relate? Do you still identify as like a Sacramento King, or is there a team you identify most strongly with? And
he's a king.
I think that, like I said, that was my best year. Sacramento, Atlanta were probably my best years. And of Vancouver, but I think I'm known for being Sacramento King mostly. I mean, that's the first thing everybody says, like Mike Bibby, Sacramento Kings. So, I mean, I'll say Kings.
Are they hard for you to watch, though, right now because of the way they play?
Don't do this, Sam, bro. Don't do this to us.
No,
Does it make you sad thinking that the days of their glory are long gone? Sorry.
Look what
he's doing to me, man.
They got good players, stuff. I mean, I haven't been around the organization for a little bit, but I don't know what's going on, so I don't want to really chime in on what the inside is. But, I mean, they
don't hit you
players.
up for stuff?
He's coaching now. He's coaching, man. He's busy.
I wish they would. I wish they'd make sure this gets to them so they can send me to do some stuff for them.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get him shit.
Mike, we need shooting. we need that. We need dogs on that squad, bro.
I'm ready.
It's a family reunion. I visited. I went back a couple years ago. Bobby's working there. Vladdy's working there. It's like a high school reunion, man.
I have another question actually regarding the current team because we had Gilbert Arenas on here, and he says that if you're too fast, your jump shot is shit. Is that De'Aaron Fox's problem?
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, he's a good little player, young player. I don't know how his shot is. I mean, he's a scorer. So I don't know how his shot is, but I mean, like I said, I was never blessed with that speed, so I really can't comment. I was kind of slow and took my time and get to where I want to get to and kind of use my brain instead of more physical attributes.
All right, I want to end with this. We got one last question. We're all curious about it. Can we get one Kobe story? It could be from any time of your career.
I mean, I'll give you a story.
That no one knows. That no one knows, Mike.
It was, I forget what year it was. It was maybe when they were breaking the team up. I was supposed to get traded to the Lakers. And it was probably like, I'll say maybe 4 or 5, maybe 2004 or 5. We just got on the phone with him. And, he called me, his voice is very distinct and you might, but he was trying to get me there, and it finally ended up calling me like 2 days later, like, man, it didn't work out. The Loops didn't want to send you to LA. So, I mean, then it was supposed to be to Cleveland. Then I ended up getting traded to Atlanta, but, that's about it. Kobe's a great guy. Our dads played together in Philly. So, I mean, that was our ties there that we had there. Our dads played together as well.
That's amazing. Well, Mike, thank you, man. And thank you for never getting shook, bro. There's a lot of cupcakes out there, bro. And you weren't one of them. So thank you, man.
That. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
We're all fans, man.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on, man. If you ever need anything our way, let me know if we can help or do anything.
Send me a jersey, man. I'll take a jersey.
I got you a jersey. You got to send me a jersey.
I will.
We got to put it in the studio.
I'll send it to you. As soon as you guys get me on the info, I'll get it to you guys.
I got you.
That's big.
I appreciate it. Sign it for me too, please.
Oh, fucking of course. I got you. You got to sign yours then.
I will. I'll sign it. I'll see what I got. I'll send you guys some. I'll get the address.
I'll get you a gamer.
To do that. All right. Appreciate that.
Wow.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's handled it emotionally way better than I have. That's the immediate assessment that I've gotten. He's like, yeah, I've moved on.
I want to play with a guy like him. Like he just seems like he's a humble dude.
Yeah.
You could tell he works. Like he wasn't like too butthurt about it. Like he was butthurt, but like he knew he was like at peace with it.
Yeah, man.
You have to be.
You know what? No, Sam, we're comics. We're so petty and weak.
I know, but the pettiness fuels us. He's retired. Like we're still going. He's retired.
Yeah.
You can stay petty if you're still playing, I think.
Oh, interesting. But so is the reason why comics were petty? We're like, well, I can't believe he said that about me on a podcast. Is because it's still our playing career.
Still going.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Do you ever retire as a comic?
I think you die. I want to go out like Rickles or Jones.
That's great.
I want to die doing this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I don't think you retire if you're like Michael Richards or something. I don't think you retire. I think you're forced into retirement.
Yeah, you're kind of forced out.
He is jacked.
Yeah.
He is jacked.
Maybe he's shredded.
Yeah.
And that's like a big part of all of our childhoods. We're all the same age. I remember playing with him in like 2K.
Yeah.
I remember the Kings were like the cool team because they had shooting.
Full cool team.
And they could all play. I mean,
Jules, are you in I mean, was it strange for you to see he's in better shape than he was in the league? Like, are you still ESPN body issue?
Yeah, I'm still pretty.
Dude, I have to change.
Are you full body issue?
Yeah, I'm not as. I'm probably like 5 pounds less because I'm not lifting as much, but I'm still in pretty good cardio, and that's where it is. It's cardio.
Dude, look, just give him a lift up for this shit. Come on, give him a little lift. Show off he's got abs.
Are we doing this? Are we thirst trapping right now?
Thirst trap. I'm on thirst trap probation according to Big Cat. So
why?
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess I do it too much here.
Hey, so when you're doing the body issue cover, where do they tuck your junk,
bro?
When you're doing the extend on the thigh,
bro.
Trust me, Google Images. I queued it up.
So I signed up for.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I signed up for this thing, and it's
sock and tape, right? That's what I thought.
Listen, this is
all right. I'm listening.
So they first off tell me like it's going to be a small shoot. There's not going to be that many people there because it's nerve wracking.
You're like, it's not that small.
Yeah. Roll up there. There's fucking 35 people. Yeah. It's a huge set. And like once you get warmed up, you start taking these shots, and then you go look at like the prints, or you go look at the samples, and like your dick's hanging out in front of the ball and shit, and you're sitting there talking with the photographer.
They don't pouch it?
No, you're fully bald.
That's crazy.
Wow. And she goes, "Oh, don't worry, we'll cut that out. Don't worry, this is a good shot." Like the whole time, everyone's looking at your dick. There's like social people taking pictures of your dick.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They promised a small set, no small set, full bare knuckle Barry out there.
That's like when you go to the doctor.
Really, and like, ESPN, the magazine, no intimacy coordinator for Julian.
But you know when you go to the doctor and they're like, we have someone to like learning, can they come in? I'm like, I guess, but it's my dick.
I know.
So you trimmed up, did the whole thing?
I trimmed up for that. Now I don't trim as much. You can't be in like your mid 30s.
Yeah.
Like trimming up, having a shaved chest and arms. I used to do that stuff to makes you look way more jacked on TV.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like you never see the baseball guys, they tape up, you get vascular, you shave up. Legs and stuff. You do the legs because you get your ankle tape. You don't get the shit ripped out, but no more trimming up. But I'm still there.
How do you feel when civilians like us talk about being athletic? Do you start laughing?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because like everyone's got a form of athleticism.
Because I'll flip it. When I hear other people are like, "Oh, I want to do stand up," I'm like,
"Good." We're not saying we want to play in the NFL. Then they would laugh at us.
Yeah, but don't you feel when certain civilians are like, "I could do that"? They see clips of like you and Norman, and they're like, "Oh, you guys tell jokes." Yeah, I could tell a joke in 90 seconds. I mean, you know how hard it is to tell a Sam Morril level joke.
Yeah, but that's a compliment. That means we're making it look easy. That's a compliment.
Oh, I would put it more
I take offense to it.
I put it like more like me trying to like zing in a quick joke around you guys, where you guys are like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Because I feel like some of the jokes that you land in your specials, that's arm in the rim. I'm like, oh, how did he land that?
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, because the level of difficulty.
I mean, I don't know. Julian says he's not judging us. He's going to hop on a Zoom with Mike Bibby after this. Like these fucking nerds tried to hang.
They're talking sports.
He was cool.
He was cool as fuck, bro.
He was really cool. And that was, I would say, like an all-time cool NBA team. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Ever. I think they're up there.
For sure.
Especially, I mean, we talk about
never did it.
One of the coolest teams that didn't get a ring. I mean, they're like top 3.
Definitely.
I mean, I put my 93, 94 Knicks in there. Of course. I think that team's in there. You got to put the 7 seconds or less Suns in there.
For sure.
Suns. Nash, he never got.
I think this Phoenix Chris Paul team was pretty damn cool.
I'd even put 2012 Clippers that could never get over the hump. They were a great team.
On a couple of them.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets with Chris Paul too.
Oh, it was Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. It's just all Chris Paul.
I think the T-Mac Rockets when he had that little run. I think the Reggie Miller. Sorry, that Reggie Miller.
Disagree.
93 to like 95. Penny Shaq. The Hardaway.
The magic moment. Yeah,
man.
Damn.
You had some pretty good squads, man.
The 99 Knicks were pretty damn cool too with Spree and Houston and LJ.
Yeah.
Marcus Camby.
You're talking about this LJ, right? That was
yeah. The Nuggets with Melo too. With K, we had that team.
That was a cool little team too. Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Cool.
Did we settle the prop bet, Jack? Did we get it?
Sorry, fellas, we came up a little bit short in total.
How many times?
Just 2.
Hey, can I be honest with you guys?
Yeah.
I was too nervous to say it when he was like,
if we're counting what we all thought,
I'm going to say the joke.
Hit it.
I was going to go, Mike, when'd you convert to Islam in prison? Because you're looking swole, bro. I was going to call him Brother Mike, but I got too scared. It's like seeing it, it's like, you know what I mean? He's like a part of my childhood.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I interviewed Starks on a show and I was like, it's John Starks.
It's
man.
John.
I love John. What can I say except to be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get in there either because I I felt weird.
Well, what I loved and what you must have loved about Starks, what I loved about him is I could tell, you can just tell, it's crazy how you can kind of tell from TV, even if you are just a civilian, who does have that dog in him. He really was super cool and collected and wasn't shook by Kobe. And that's what I loved about Starks too.
Me too.
Him, like McDaniel, those were those guys that would go like forehead to forehead with MJ.
I know.
And they kind of weren't like, oh, GOAT, he's a GOAT. Like, even though MJ is the GOAT, they kind of
I'd put Paul Pierce in there.
All over him.
Paul Pierce was great with Kobe. Yeah.
Paul Pierce, he used to battle him.
Yeah.
Finals MVP. Anyone who overachieves in the playoffs or just gets everything they can out of their ability, they've got the dog.
Yeah.
Can't believe it would have been crazy if Bibby would have became a Laker with.
That's a crazy story.
Although they probably got, what he probably didn't say is, you know who we got instead of Bibby is Smush Parker. And Kobe must have been fucking furious.
Yeah, yeah.
That must have, well, whatever. I mean, this was great. This is great to have you, Hasan. Check out the King's Jester now.
Gotta check
Netflix.
it out.
Thank you.
Hilarious guy.
Appreciate that.
Biggest Kings fan I've ever met.
Ever.
And thanks for joining us.
Dude, you spiced this up. This is awesome.
This
bro.
was
I appreciate
the energy of this episode was unlike anything we've ever
I appreciate
had.
it.
No, you could just tell you loved it.
No, I was fucking.
We loved it. We loved having you. That was.
I get asked to do a lot of pods. I was like, when he told me about this, I'm like, I'm fucking in.
You're fucking funny too.
We literally talked to the seller, and I was like, if you could be on with any athlete, and he said Weber or Bibby.
I'm there.
Yeah.
We'll have to get Weber and get you back.
Webb, oh man, can't wait. See that smile over Zoom? I'm here.
Beautiful.
Hasan reaction, energy.
Just a pure fan. It's how we became friends. I mean, I met him at Gotham Comedy Club many years ago, and he saw me, as he said, in a Knicks shirt, and was like, I know this person.
Yeah.
Like, I think that real fans can sniff out real fans, and he's a real Sac fan.
And you guys connected through like tragedies of your teams a lot of the time.
And just obsession.
You
know, like you can just feel they were so close. You could tell he still takes it with him. And just his excitement. I remember when I saw him at the cellar and he was like, dude, Bibby. Like you could tell how much he still loves Bibby.
He's so charismatic. I thought he was insanely funny.
Yeah.
He took over the show. He was so excited to ask questions to Bibby. Like I jumped out of the way. I was like, "Hey, man, this is all you. You know, you're dressed sharp." Like I mispronounced his name. I saw him give me a look and a correction. You know, I apologize, Hasan, like Boston Hasan. You know, I said Hasan, and he got all. And I've heard that he did that to Ellen at a show once.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that he did that to. He corrected Ellen.
He scolded Ellen DeGeneres?
I don't think he scolded her. I think he just corrected her.
I hope he did it in front of her PAs and staff that she mistreated.
I gave him a standing O.
I think it was on air.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Full on air.
Well, yeah.
I love it. I loved it.
He took over in the best possible way. He took over the way like Klay Thompson takes over when he's just hitting threes and you're like, he's the hot hand, feed him, you know, keep dishing to him.
Lasting image
is honestly probably of this game or this series. What are we doing? Game. I mean, Bibby hitting the shot. No question.
100%.
The lasting image is we see Weber's body up. We see Fisher on the floor and we see Fisher elevate. That's the lasting image.
Fisher.
Bibby rather.
Yeah.
Well, Derek Fisher was on the floor.
He was guarding him.
He was also headband over the ears, Derek Fisher. Remember that era?
I was shocked when he said Fisher wasn't a good defender because I thought he was. I always, as a spectator,
that's because they were there. I mean, that was probably because that's a dog saying that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Bibbs probably like they competed a bunch against each other.
Yeah, thought I was watching Fisher. I was like, this dude plays his heart out. He's like Kobe respect. If Kobe wants you on the team, you don't hear Kobe being like, "Bring back Smush Parker." Kobe's like, "Bring back Derek Fisher."
Yeah. But you know how basketball is, man. Those guys can feel like they can score on anyone. Like there's no really good defenders if you really think
Are there D-backs though who played you well who you'd be like, he wasn't good?
Yeah.
Really? Who? Name names.
I wouldn't say he wasn't good, but I would say that they're not as hyped. They're not as good as their hype.
Who's overrated?
I thought this is gonna get some heat. I thought was a little overrated. They used to play.
is overrated?
A little bit. I mean, he was really good in his role, but as a man covering corner, he played cover 3 all the time. So he never really, he had everything in front of him. And like that team defense they were connected on a string. You'd see that linebacker shoot out to the flat and he would get depth. And so he could play in front and keep his eyes in the backfield and make breaks. He was the best at that. He's an unbelievable corner, but his pure man on man, like he never really didn't have help. Like you never saw, like you saw with Revis, Gilmore, and a lot of these guys where they would just say, hey, you have him all game. You follow him everywhere, and everyone else, you guys have everyone else.
Is Revis the best you ever played against?
He was pretty good. He just was always on balance. He knew the game so well. He could cheat on certain things. And I'm not saying it's not like really good. I'm just saying as
sounded like you said that, dude.
Man on man.
Sounds like Julian Edelman said that.
On man.
Doesn't have the goods and didn't have the goods.
He's going to try to come at me for this. It's all good. He'll probably be like, oh, he's just a competitive guy. I've heard it.
Beef.
No beef.
I'm pumped.
No beef.
We got our first beef. Yeah. Affleck dude.
Affleck.
We got podcast beefs.
Let's do it. One right now.
Name the game, the shot. It's not the shot. Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. What did we forget before we name this?
We got a little carried away with Hasan going in, kind of living at
with what?
Hasan.
Like bossing, bro. He's bossing Hasan.
Oh my God, even I'm doing it.
That's because of me.
It was like a real Make-A-Wish kid type episode. He was just going ham.
He was.
Can't blame him. Let's get back to the game real quick. Just a quick little overview that we kind of breezed over. It was back and forth all night. Can't forget Shaq got in foul trouble early. He was playing all game with 2 to 3 fouls and ended up fouling out with just under 4 minutes left right in crunch time. So that was huge. 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. As we know, Bibby hits the go-ahead shot with 8 seconds left. Kobe goes down, misses the buzzer beater. And all night it was Kobe and Shaq versus Webber and Bibby. 30 for Kobe, 28 for Shaq, 29 for Webber, 23 for Bibby. And then we got to contextualize this a little more. Robert Horry hit a buzzer beater the game before that. Big shot, Bob.
That was when they hit out. Yeah. That was when he did a little dance too.
That was
Robert Horry was 7 rings, dude.
Insane. You forget about the Houston years. At least I do.
I don't. Knicks? Are you kidding me?
Oh, sorry.
Blow my head off.
And then we all know Game 6 with the extremely controversial officiating. The Lakers shot 18 more free throws in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
Then Game 7, Bibby alluded to it a little bit. The Kings missed 14 free throws in that loss. So that was kind of the story there.
You can't miss 14, especially a finesse team. You can't miss 14 free throws.
Can't.
And then
need the points.
Quick recap on the Game 6 officials. Dick Bavetta, Tom Bernhardt, Bob Delaney. Those were the boys doing the NBA's work.
Damn. They were company men.
Yep.
It was. This is a shady series. It's crazy it's crazy to be that good at basketball and to come that close and to have the refs cost you
a championship for an entire city. There's like no it wasn't just the NBA. This is for all the Central Valley people of Sacramento.
It's their only franchise.
Only franchise.
They walk, their posture in that city is worse for having not won this. They're sadder than they should be.
Saltwater taffy factories and plantations probably shut down because of the economic status of the city after not winning a championship because of these refs potentially.
It's true. There was a sadness to Sacramento. The crowds are great. They're good.
I just always remember saltwater taffy when I went to Sacramento.
It's good.
Like a little old town. You know, they have the old town feel.
That's where I got this sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I literally wore this. This is a move I do on the road a lot where I just, put my jacket on, I get on stage. I say, I think it's disgusting when comedians pander to a city. And I take my jacket off and I'm wearing something that just reps the city.
You got to get them started.
That's my move. So that's why I have this dumb sweatshirt.
Supporting local gift shops. I love it.
I support the gift shops, dude. Overpriced merch.
It looks, not to say plagiarism or anything, but it looks a little Nantucket-y.
Wow, it kind of does.
You know, I mean, Sacramento, we're more gold rushy, dude. Can we get some fucking miners on there or something? Like, we're not riding bikes along a beautiful summer coastal weathered day in the East Coast.
They ride bikes out there. I've seen bikes.
Along the river?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I saw some bikes.
More like, in California, you get like competitive like bikers, but you're not seeing bikes with baskets and Dorothy riding it.
I don't know. All right, well, we got to score this game. I think the stakes are insanely high. I mean, it's. We have to name the game too. The Shot. Big Shot Bibby. I think it's Big Shot Bibby.
Big Shot Bibby.
The last good thing to happen in Sacramento. Who is that, Jack or Kyler?
I wrote that in there.
That's good stuff. The last good thing to happen in Sacramento. I mean, it's Big Shot Bibby.
Big Shot Bibby.
But it is the last good thing to happen in Sacramento.
Stakes
are high. This is game 5.
5. Take the lead.
I gotta say, I think
in the Western Conference Finals, though.
Yeah. So what, like an 8-4?
8-4.
8-4.
Star power.
It's huge. It's in LA. Remember,
literally, Shaq is huge.
Huge. You got Kobe. You got Bibby, Weber, Vlade, Peja,
Fox,
and think about Fox and all the celebs in the arena. We saw Nicholson, right?
In the series, not up this one. This was in Sacramento.
That's right. It's in Sac.
I don't think Jack ever goes.
We lose. Yeah, you're right. He's too cool.
But Phil Jackson was out there.
Phil Jackson. Rick Adelman, big coach. What do you think?
I think it's got to be an 8 of some sort.
Yeah, you're right. It loses some steam because if it's in Staples Center.
Sorry, Sac.
We'll
just go 8 flat.
I go high on gameplay because this is
back and forth.
5 lead changes in the 4th.
It was some good, awesome basketball. You got a taste of both kinds of basketball. You got heavy diesel basketball, and then you got spread them, shred them. And these are like football terms that I'm incorporating into basketball.
They apply.
You know, so
angle offense, first corner offense. It was beautiful.
Yeah, they were doing like a Princeton. They said,
yeah, nice passing through the big man at the elbow. Vlade was great.
And you don't even know what the offense is going to be because guys are cutting so much. That's what I learned from this episode.
And also, he called Vlade and Weber the 2 best passing big men ever, which I'm like, Jokic, anyone? Sabonis? But I mean, they were good. They were great.
Dude, I remember as a kid watching Lottie. He always had such little swaggy, like, no looks. Like you know what I mean? He was great. He came up with those all the time.
Was a rookie with the Lakers, by the way.
Yeah.
He started with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson toughened his ass. Like, you know, it's crazy when you're coming from Yugoslavia and then you're like, shit, I have to play with Magic Johnson. That's how tough this dude was.
Yeah. I wonder if he picked up his smoking habits there in LA.
Maybe.
Because back in the 70s, it was cool to smoke in LA. Now it's like no one smokes in LA.
Eastern Europeans smoke cigarettes like fucking, like it's gum. They're always.
It's like flossing.
It's flossing. Wow, dude. Yeah. I mean, more than floss. Flossing's rare.
You don't floss a lot?
I floss, but not like a cigarette. It's like, I don't floss 20 times a day. You know? Gameplay is, I think we got to go like 8-8, 8-9. It's a great game. I mean, even 9 is not crazy because it's, no? What do you think?
Oh, I think 8-8 definitely deserves to be up in the 8-8 or 9 region.
All right. 8-8.
Big Shot Bibby.
It's not an iconic name. Like, we've done 18 wins. And
if they would have won the series, it would have been a great name.
So what is it, like a 4-8, 5? 5-5?
5-5.
Yeah, let's give it a 5-5. It is pretty bad. And it's also, I think, his coolest moment. And he's kind of an underappreciated.
Very underappreciated.
Guy where he really was like, fans know how smooth he was.
Yeah, it sucks for a lot of players like Mike Bibby that don't get a championship, which almost means they don't get the recognition they deserve.
I mean, you look at it, you're like, is he that different than if he gets a ring? It's possible. They go to the championship. It's not crazy the way he's playing for him to be a finals MVP. I know Weber's their best player, but it's possible he's the finals MVP. And then do we talk about Bibby like he's Chauncey Billups?
Well, and then also, if they go on, beat the Lakers blow up, do they repeat?
Yeah, you got to run it back. You got Shaq and Kobe's. Although
no, I'm saying Shaq and Kobe blow up after they lose. Like I'm saying,
after they lost to the Pistons to Chauncey Billups, who was the Finals MVP.
You know what I mean? They blow it up.
But I think that was a couple extra years of Kobe being like, I work out harder than you. You're fat, Shaq. Yeah. You know,
I get it. 7-7.
7-7's a good score. This is it's a respectable.
C's get degrees.
Make sure to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Comment on a game you want us to do. We'll give it a shot. Rate and review.
And that's all for this episode of Games with Names presented by WynnBET. Thank you guys so much for listening. And thanks to our guest, Mike Bibby. He's a beast. And Hasan. He was awesome.
He was so good. So good to have a diver.
Go check out, you got to check out his Netflix. Go check him out on his website. Everything, his Instagram, his Twitter, his LinkedIn profile.
His LinkedIn is popping off right now.
Is it?
It's good.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Sam Morril. We'll see you next game.